Air New Zealand is hoping for a fast recovery from its $2.2 billion recapitalisation package. Part of that includes offering shares at a significant discount of 53 cents each. For more on this, Air New Zealand Chair Dame Therese Walsh joins us this morning. Thank you for being with us, Dame Therese.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. So the airline has been signalling it will need this extra cash for many months, and it's been deferred. If you didn't do this now, what position would the airline be in?
Look, the airline would be fine. We've got a number of temporary arrangements in place with the Crown in terms of funding, but we feel it's really the right time now to recapitalise the airline, refuel our recovery, get moving, and we think it's a really fair deal for shareholders. So we think it's the right time and fair for everyone involved.
How important is it in terms of being able to remain competitive with airlines around the rest of the world when, borders have opened already overseas and they're really able to get up and running perhaps a little quicker than we have been here, or is that not a fair statement?
Look, I think Air New Zealand has been really well served in terms of the Crown funding we've received, and so we've been able to do what we need to do. In fact, many airlines have been grounded throughout COVID, and we've been in the skies every day. So we've been very lucky in that regard to connect ourselves and the world, both in terms of people and supplies, which has been really important. But we really feel it's the right time now. We've been able to take a considered approach. We have given this a lot of thought, and it really ties in really nicely with the planning we've done during COVID to get us ready to re-emerge and refuel our recovery and get back in the skies.
Is it a hard ask to ask people to invest at the moment when you have said that in terms of outlook, 2022 could be the hardest year financially in terms of since the pandemic began?
Yeah, look, it's been a hard couple of years for Kiwis, gosh, and also for the airline, for all of us really. And we're really grateful to our shareholders that have stuck with us for the last couple of years. Shareholders are going to have an option either to participate, and all eligible shareholders will be able to do that. But if shareholders don't want to participate or choose not to, then they have the ability to actually sell those rights on the market and potentially get some value. So we think it's fair for everyone, and again, the timing is very good.
What kind of opportunity is on the horizon? You talk a lot about survive, thrive and revive. What setting do you consider yourself to the airline to be in now? Are you still very much in a survival phase right now?
Yes, I think so, but I think we can see revive very, very much in the short-term future, and this is a step we can take to get there, and it's another step towards thrive. And we sort of outlined our strategy in the investor presentation over those phases, but you can see with international borders reopening that this is a really, it's a moment where we're sort of moving out of COVID, getting back to a touch of normality, and so that's why we feel the time is right.
CEO Greg Foran has been calling for weeks for the borders to be opened to international tourists, and we are now going to see fully vaccinated travellers able to come back here from May. Has that delay hurt the airline in the meantime?
Look, I think the country's taken a very considered approach, and we're just really excited to welcome people back. We've been planning for this. We've actually been able to keep the airline going. We've been doing a lot of cargo flights, so throughout the pandemic, and that's been really important to keeping the airline in good shape and moving. But we're really happy with the opening dates and the ability to be able to get our planes back in the skies, filled with people who want to visit the rest of the world, and for others to come and visit this beautiful country.
The airline have said that you don't intend to or expect to return a dividend until 2026. Is that the point at which you believe the airline will be thriving, or is that kind of how long it will take to get to a point where perhaps opportunity and profit is going to start to return?
Yeah, look, I think 25, 26, and this is all laid out in that investor presentation, which I encourage everyone to read because there's a lot of opportunities and risks outlaid in that presentation. But it is around the time, you're right, that we sort of expect, if all the assumptions that we've laid out in that presentation come to pass and things work out as they might, that actually we can end up back in financial profitability land, as well as be in a position to potentially pay dividends in 2026.
Are fuel costs going to be an increasing issue this year?
Yeah, I mean, fuel costs are certainly higher than they have been, and we don't know what the future holds for fuel costs. And again, we've sort of had to make some assumptions in that regard, and they're laid out in the investor presentation. But there are kind of a number of different risks, fuel being one of them, that are around at the moment for Air New Zealand, and that's why we've laid those out very carefully, because investors need to be aware of them. But again, we still think it's very much the right time, and we've got an exciting strategy that we want to roll out and get behind and start moving again.
And just finally, Dame Therese, has the board been informed of what is going to happen in terms of the no jab, no fly policy, or when that will be announced in terms of that policy within the airline?
Yes, look, that's a matter that we constantly have under review. I mean, the key thing is, right from the start of this, we've just wanted to keep our staff, our Air New Zealand whānau, and all of our customers safe. And so that is an ongoing consideration, and we'll keep thinking about when is the right time, if ever, to change settings.
Air New Zealand Chair Dame Therese Welsh, thank you very much.